watching SportsBeat.
And hi there, everybody. Welcome to the Beat. Glad to have you aboard tonight. And welcome to the playoffs, Real Salt Lake. First leg of the MLS semifinals with Sporting KC over in Rio Tinto Stadium tonight.
Yeah, the last time these two met in the postseason, 2013. You remember that. You're still trying to get warm.
17-degree temperature.
Sporting KC beat RSL for the MLS Cup. Bitter memories. Yeah. Since then, they've met 11 times, with RSL winning 6 times, 4 draws, and only 1 loss to their hated rivals.
All right, let's show you what happens. Over Rio Tinto, 9th minute, Sporting KC on the attack. Kyrie Shelton, diving save by Nick Raimondo. 26th minute now. RSL's Albert Rusnak called for a foul and a yellow card. He also received a yellow Thursday in L.A., so 2 yellows means Rusnak suspended for Game 2 next week. Scoreless at the half. Start of the second half, 41st minute, RSL on the move, and that is Rusnak, who got to stay in the game, and now RSL has a 1-0 advantage. They've got the mole here. 60th minute, though. Here comes KC.
5 yards out, ripped it in the back of the net.
Oh, yeah, now we're tied at 1. Couple of minutes later, Sporting KC putting on the pressure again, but Raimondo's there to corral it to keep things tied. 74th minute. Major pressure on Nick Raimondo. Kansas City has 3 great cracks at it, but Raimondo, again, the wall of the Wasatch, doing it, stopping all 3. And leg 1 ends in a 1-1 draw. Second and final leg will be a week from today in Kansas City. The winner of the series will be determined by the total number of goals in the 2 matches, and road goals will carry more weight, and they will become the tiebreaker. So that basically means RSL, if they draw next week in Kansas City, they're done. They've got to score 1 more goal than KC next Sunday in the second leg. All right, let's head out to Rio Tinto now. Spencer Linton is there with the reaction. Hi, Spencer.
Rod, great to be with you, and what a treat to have for all of you on SportsBeat Sunday. The goal scorer tonight from Real Salt Lake, Albert Rusnak. Once again, he's been a star for the team for a very long time, so we're getting used to this, but let's start with the goal. Walk us through that amazing combo play and what happened, and when it came off your foot, what'd you see?
I mean, I was asking for a ball earlier from Brooks, but I guess he didn't see me at first, so then he cut it back, and then I was still free. And before he played the ball into me, I had it in my mind, you know, I have to play a 1-2 because there was defenders in the way, and it was a great setup by Demir, let's not forget that. It was probably just as hard as to score the goal because I put it on his head, not on his foot. But yeah, in the end, it worked out perfectly, and it was a nice team goal.
It ends in a draw. You got to go on the road to Kansas City, where it's going to be a raucous environment, and they love their soccer there. But it's nothing that you haven't seen just recently in L.A. What kind of an atmosphere do you expect in Leg 2 in Kansas City?
Probably the same as it was in L.A. You know, it'll be a decisive game. I mean, who wins will go through. So we cannot play for a tie or anything like that. We have to go out there and try and do the same performance as we did at LAFC. You know, it won't be easy, but I feel like this year we already tied at Kansas City 1-1, you know, so I don't think it's impossible, you know. It'll be tough, don't get me wrong, because they're a good team, especially at home. They've got a lot of quality players, but so do we, and I believe we can get a result there.
Do you prefer a rivalry in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, you know, but I feel like any playoff game means a lot, and it doesn't matter who it's really against, because you're playing for something, you know. You lose, you're out, your season's done, so it'll be a very big game.
Albert, thanks for the time. Working overtime and in the cold, no less. I offered him my jacket, but he said he was good, Rod.
All right, now let me clarify something, Spencer. It's kind of complicated for those of us who aren't like soccer fanatics. So if RSL has a draw next Sunday, any more than 1-1, RSL will win because they'll have 2 goals on the road compared to just 1 for RSL, or for 1 here in Salt Lake. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I'm following it, and I think we're all trying to wrap our heads around just how all of those technicalities work in MLS playoff soccer and draws and the stipulations that go into that. But I think you're on to it, Rod. I think you got a good beat on it.
All right, well, thanks, and tell Albert good going tonight, and sorry that he's not going to be able to play next week. So thanks, Spencer and Albert.
You got it, man.
Okay. All right, now moving on to college football. The Utes dropped out of the AP poll in the top 25 after the 18-point loss at Arizona State yesterday. They are 24th in the coaches poll, while the Aggies are moving up in the national rankings. Utah State rolled over Hawaii last night, and the Aggies jumped up 4 spots in both of the national polls to number 14 in the AP poll and 16th in the coaches poll. Aggies rushed for 426 yards last night, led by Darwin Thompson. He had 141 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Gerald Wright, 121 yards and also 3 TDs. Aggies have now won 8 in a row. That's the second longest winning streak in school history. They won 9 straight in 1961 when they finished 10th in the country. Utah State will be back home Saturday with San Jose State. David Nixon, Stevenson Sylvester will join us in a few minutes to break down the Aggies, Utes, and Cougars games from yesterday.
Can't wait to hear that.
Utah Jazz haven't quite gotten into a rhythm yet. They're 0-3 at home and overall 3-game losing streak after last night's loss in Denver.
Do we need a panic button right here?
No.
Should we hit the panic button?
Nope.
Okay, you know what I do think we need, though?
What's that?
I think the Jazz need another "we will be fine" tweet from Rudy Gobert.
Absolutely.
Just to calm all the nerves.
That's how it all got started last year.
It's going to be okay. News goes bad from worse, though. Too worse, though, for the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell ruled out for tomorrow night's game with the Raptors with a sprained ankle. The injury happened in Saturday night's 103-88 loss in Denver. The Jazz play 3 straight at home this week, including Friday's game against who? Gordon Hayward? I'm familiar with that name. Anyway, he plays for the Celtics. He'll be here on Friday.
It's 3 competitive quarters, and I think we competed the 4th quarter. The score didn't reflect our effort, but that's what, ultimately you got to put the ball in the basket, and we weren't able to do that, in the 4th quarter. And I don't think it was a reflection of our execution or anything other than we got to get it to go in. We missed free throws. We did a lot of things that that we've got to be better at.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to dust off the old Jazz archive. We had some fantastic finishes in the NFL, and we're going to break it down.
And what a bounce by Darwin Thompson. Touchdown, Utah State.
The Aggies rolling over Hawaii. How are they able to rush for over 400 yards? David and Sly will get technical and show us.
Remains first down.
The Utes lose to Arizona State, and they lose much more. What went wrong and what's next? David and Sly break it all down.
You're watching SportsBeat.
All right, RSL and Sporting Kansas City playing to a 1-1 draw in the first leg of the MLS semifinals, leg 2, a week from today in Kansas City. Now, at the RSL game, Jeremiah, Donovan Mitchell goes to football games. Grayson Allen, he's a soccer guy.
There's a reason why he's a soccer guy. His girlfriend, Morgan Reed, played at Duke. She's now a member of the North Carolina Courage that won the Women's Northwestern and NWSL Championship. Yeah. So he was there at the match tonight, and Spencer Linton caught up with him after the first leg.
All right, Grayson, you show up at an RSL game and they give you a custom jersey. Let's turn around and see what do you think of this jersey?
I like it a lot. It's sick. I wasn't expecting this when I showed up, but they get the 24 and the Allen on the back. When I opened it up, I was like, they have an Allen on the team? I didn't recognize it at first, but it's cool.
How was your first RSL playoff experience?
It was a lot of fun. I wish the game would have gotten a little better, but I guess I'll take a tie. But it was a great experience. The crowd is incredible here, and they're a really good team, so it's fun.
How would you sum up your first month or so of professional basketball?
It's been a great experience so far. We're getting a lot better as a team, and I think we'll improve as the season goes on. But as a rookie, I couldn't ask for more. I'm with a great organization, and we've had some good games, had a long road trip already, had my first road trip, so it's been a lot of fun.
Hey, if you're getting custom jerseys at the soccer game in town, things must be going pretty well, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. Not a bad deal.
Thanks, Grayson.
Thank you.
All right, now the weekend in college football. Aggies jumping up 4 spots in both polls, 14 in the AP, 16 in the coaches poll.
The jump comes after Utah State rolled Hawaii late last night, 56-17.
Oh, and the rolling started early on the first drive. Jordan Love, 16 yards, run Quavian Tarver. Utah State rushed for 426 yards. Gerald Wright, 121 yards on the ground, including this 18-yarders. Aggies led 28-3 in the first quarter. Too bad nobody could watch this in Utah unless you had a smartphone on.
This defies science.
Darwin Thompson, 141 yards, 3 TDIs. Bounce it off, everybody. 26 yards, it's 35-3. Then back to Gerald Wright. And he'll bust free, 47 yards, and this is one of his 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love, by the way, went out in the second quarter with an undisclosed injury. Never returned, but Coach Matt Wells says he is fine. 8th straight win. That's the 2nd longest winning streak in school history. All right, the guys are back to break this one down for us. David Nixon, former Cougar. Stevenson Sylvester, former Ute.
You know, weird things happen on the islands, but not this time, thanks to the run game. The Utah State Aggies just ran over the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, it was a huge beatdown by Utah State. They went on the road and did what they had to do, but it really started with the run game. 426 yards rushing by Utah State, and it really all started with Darwin Thompson.
Darwin Thompson's great. Both running backs went up for over 100 yards, but look at this balance he has here. Bouncing off tacklers, he has blockers ahead of him, as you're going to see here. Check this out. We got 1, 2, 3 blockers ahead of him when first contact made. First contact's made here, you got 1, 2, 3 blockers ahead. So they're doing their jobs, but they lose their blockers late, but his balance is great. He's able to get off blockers and get into the end zone. Really makes Hawaii look like a high school team.
As a defender, it's tough. When you got those guys that are squatty bodies, we call them, it's tough to bring it down. Here's one more play where he does a great job of finding seams, great field vision. He finds a hole, and he's able to exploit it.
This is what you do with them short running backs. You give them any kind of space, and they're gone for yards. That's what Barry Sanders was great at. He could really get into small spaces and just make something out of nothing.
So Darwin Thompson, 141 yards, 10 yards per carry. Then we move over, another running back. You got Gerald Wright, who came up 121 yards rushing. Hawaii couldn't stop this Utah State running game.
There was nothing they could do. It was a 1-2 punch. See right here, Gerald Wright gets down. You break down. They got everybody in the box. You look like you got it covered. Speed on the other end. Can't catch him. It was just a great day all the way around. You said 600 plus total yards
total offense.
There's nothing you could do on that defense. But here again, he comes through. These blockers get the edge. They just do a great job. They're so disciplined. And the Utah State team, great job by Matt Wells in that offense.
Sticking on their blocks, downfield, and then you've got the speed to take it away. Great job by Utah State. So let's flip over to the defense side of the ball. What I like about this week is you saw against a prolific Hawaii passing offense, you saw Utah State bring some exotic blitzes to really confuse Hawaii's offense.
Yeah, and as things in the past, you've seen Hawaii's really good at getting the ball out fast. And so this is actually a blitz that we used to run at Utah. I think Gary Anderson left this up here at Utah State because I remember this very well. Joe Dale was great at it. But this path right here that Gage Ferguson takes to the quarterback is exactly what you want to do. He's not bowing. He's going straight there and gives that quarterback no room to make adjustments. Great job by him.
Yeah, that's how you get pressure on the quarterback. Now we fast forward. DJ Williams comes up with a huge pick. Once again, this Utah State defense rose up to the occasion against a Hawaii team that come into the game throwing the rock.
Yeah, this is an athletic play. This is why you got these guys on the edge. You get pressure on the QB. You got a late blitz here by the linebacker. He gets in, gets the quarterback's face. The quarterback sees him, gets the ball away, hooks it up. But look at this. He turns into the receiver. The cornerback turns into the receiver. Go get the ball. That's all you got to do. No, DJ Williams makes a great play.
No panic. No panic whatsoever. Goes up, gets the ball. Great body control to come down inbounds. I mean, listen, like I said, they went on the road. They took care of business. Come back, kind of keep rolling throughout the season. But Utah State, I mean, who knows? They might be one of the best teams in the state. Might be the best team. I don't know.
Might be the best team.
Right now, they are. Top 15 in the country.
Yeah.
One of the best teams in the country.
Yeah. By the way, I take offense to that comment. Squatty body. I've been called that a few times.
Hey, you'd be fortunate to be called squatty body. There's other names we call you.
That's true. That's not the worst thing you've been called.
All right. Yeah, okay. All right, now for the Utes, they had too many mistakes in the 18-point loss at Arizona State yesterday, in which they lost more than just the game.
Yeah, they lost quarterback Tyler Huntley, likely out for the season with a broken collarbone. After 4 straight dominant performances, the script was flipped in Tempe. The Utes defense gave up 536 yards of total offense, 251 on the ground. Eno Benjamin had 175 yards and 2 scores. The Utes also got gashed through the air, 285 yards. They had no answer for N'Keal Harry, 9 catches, 161 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the big story is, of course, Huntley. He's out for the season with a broken collarbone. Jason Shelley is now the starter. He was 4 of 11 for 59 yards, filling in for Huntley. Now he has a week to prepare for Oregon on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. kickoff at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Now we go back to Sly and David to break this down.
Guys, this Utah defense, not what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, Utah came in the game ranked +1 in the country in rush defense, gives up 251 yards on the ground, and Arizona State picked on him early and went right after him.
Yeah, they gashed him with the run all game, 250-plus yards. But here you can see Chase Hansen, a play you've seen all year, play the option. You're supposed to slow play it, have enough time for the quarterback to make a decision of handing the ball off, and he does a great job right here, but he doesn't bring his feet. You got to finish the play. On man-to-man coverage, you got to handle your responsibilities. If you don't, it's a huge play for that offense. And here he does. Great job. Stay in square, make the play. He leaves his feet, allows that running back to get out and gash that defense.
And especially when you're going that hole, you've got to come low. You saw him. He did a great job. Like you said, stay in square. He slides down the gap. Then he goes up, tries to get this, they strip the ball away. Instead, comes up with a big play for Arizona State. So fast forward and get to the goal line. You're going to see an RPO on this play. You're going to see Jalen Johnson get taken advantage of.
Yeah, here you have the defense, 9 people looking at the run here. You have the option for the quarterback to give the ball or throw it. Here you got one-on-one with Jalen Johnson. What you want to do, if you're on the island, you got to make it easy on yourself. You want to take away one of the options for the receiver, and that's normally
preferably the inside, right?
Preferably the inside, because that's the easiest throw for the quarterback. You just toss it right there. As far as a fade is a lot harder to throw for the quarterback, and you have the sideline as an extra defender. He doesn't do that and kills himself.
So moving forward, Zach Moss continues to do what Zach Moss does. He averaged 7 yards per carry, over 120 yards rushing. And Arizona State really didn't have an answer for him either.
No. And it's just like we've been saying all year, you get him up on the secondary, you're bound for big plays. He just had an amazing day yesterday, 128 yards on 18 carries. But this safety here.
This play right here, I'll tell you what, this is what real men are made of right there, Zach Moss.
This is a prime NFL running back right here. Look, he stiff-arms somebody, jumps over another guy. A guy has 30 yards of full speed to run out and take him out, and he doesn't get to do that. And Zach Moss is just great.
So the play of the game comes late in the game with Hundley getting injured. I mean, this is a season changer for Utah. It's unfortunate because Hundley, he's continued to buy time with his legs. He's very elusive. But in this case right here, Arizona State got to him and caused a brutal injury, really.
Yeah, when I first looked at it, I thought he could have got the ball away sooner. But, just how the game went, it was perfect. Yeah. It's just unfortunate, the hits he took. And then this one here, you see, soon as the elbow hit the ground, it jammed up and broke his collarbone. So very unfortunate for the Utes. But as you say in sports, somebody gets injured, that means the next man's up. So Jason Shelley really has to do a great job here coming in the next 4 weeks to finish the season so we can win the Pac-12 South.
Real quick, what do you like about Shelley in the brief time you've seen? He's going to have a week to prepare.
Yeah, well, in the preseason, he does a great job of running the option. So you do have a dominant back right now. Give him the ball. All you need is confidence. As a quarterback, you need confidence, and that's what he has to bring to the table. And his offense has to make sure they believe in him, too.
And Kyle Whittingham mentioned in a post-game press conference that maybe Britton Covey or Chase Hansen might be the third-string quarterback. We may see some plays for them.
Hey, we've seen Britton Covey air out the ball. I wouldn't be surprised you bring him in on some other packages for sure.
All right, guys. All right, now time to dust off the archives and take a trip down Jazz memory lane.
You know what? Whenever the Jazz play the Nuggets, it brings to mind this game between the Jazz and the Nuggets on November 27th, 1996. It was the greatest comeback in NBA history.
I was there. Yeah, Jerry Sloan, not a happy camper in the first half. That's an understatement because he let the ref know it. Got teed up as the Nuggets. They had easy shots all over the place. They made most of them. Dale Ellis dropped into 3. He had 25. Brian Stith finished with 30. The Nuggets were rolling in the first half. Jazz were down 34 at the half. 36 early in the third when the switch flipped on. Karl Malone to Chris Morris. Morris with a couple of threes, then Malone 2 of his 31. Jeff Hornacek, boy, did he start to light things up in the second half. He had 29, and the Jazz come all the way back to beat the Nuggets by 4. And Jeremiah, I was in the locker room afterwards, and it was quite the experience.
Did you think when they were way down at halftime that they could win this thing?
Yes.
You did?
You did?
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Did you think we were going to win? Tell the truth.
No.
Hey, thanks to 1-800-GOT-JUNK for that video, by the way.
All right, BYU 2 yards away from winning on the Smurf turf for the first time ever, but could not finish it off. David Slough back to break this one down for us.
College Football Breakdown, brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen.
Well, BYU hasn't had any success at all on the Smurf turf in Boise. Going into last night, the Cougars were 0 for 4 all-time on that blue carpet.
And to add more intrigue to last night's matchup, BYU quarterback Zach Wilson, if you remember, committed to Boise State, then decommitted when he got an offer from BYU.
So you know those linebackers are saying, come on, buddy. Yeah, so Zach Wilson facing the Team he thought he was going to be playing for a few months ago. Third quarter, Zach will take it in for the 4-yard touchdown. The Cougars cut the lead to 14-13. They're right into this thing, but Boise State would come right back with Alexander Madison. He'll take it in for the 3-yard touchdown. So BYU down 8, and Jeremiah on the next possession for the Cougars. This is just bad luck.
This is BYU's season right here.
To Neil Pau'u, the double pass, Matt Bushman, great one-handed catch, great athletic move. He's going to go for the end zone, but as he braces himself for the fall, the ball stripped into the end zone. Touchback recovered by the Broncos. Oh, he couldn't finish after a great play. Cougars kick field goal on the next possession, cut the lead to 21-16. 2 minutes left. Wilson the screen to Matt Hadley. Matt Hadley does the rest with a bunch of blockers. 59 yards to the Boise State 24. All right, Cougars got it down to the 2. It would all come down to this. 7 seconds left. No timeouts left. Second and goal. They need to quick pass for a touchdown or to throw it away to stop the clock. Touchdown or throw it away. Touchdown or throw it away. And Zim Wilson, he just wanted to make a play, and he doesn't get it done. Sack. Time runs out. Cougars now 0-5 on that blue turf.
Heartbreaker for BYU. Some tough lessons learned there for some young players and coaches, guys. But we'll start with the defense.
Yeah, Boise State came into this game averaging 40-plus points a game, and BYU only held them to 21 points. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, BYU defense created 2 turnovers, but in this particular play, BYU gets a sack from Corbin Kafusi. They come out in a 3-man front, an odd front. Corbin does a great job of coming around the edge. Really, throughout the entire evening, BYU's defense was causing confusion and havoc for Boise State. What I love about Kafusi here is he continues to work his hands. You saw him come on the edge. He gets rid of the hands. You see right here down below on the tackle, he swipes both of them. Then what I like about it, he dipped his shoulder to avoid the tackle being able to get into him, comes around, wraps up the quarterback, comes down with the sack, and so BYU's defense was all over the field.
Yeah, it was a tight game, though. Coming down to the fourth quarter, the final scoring drive, presumably, here we had a great play by Hadley.
Yeah, first play on that last drive. There's 2 minutes left. BYU, Jeff Grimes dials up a fantastic screen play to Matt Hadley, and you see him take it for 59 yards. I like this play because if you recall from last week, NIU, same type of situation, and they threw a pick. Instead, they go with the easy pass, easy catch to Hadley. And look at all the guys he makes miss. I mean, this is a guy who was last year a linebacker that threw him over to running back. He goes back over to linebacker earlier this year and then finishes up a running back. But look at this tight window that Zach Wilson has to throw through.
Quarterback for a freshman, though.
Throws the knee, throws it right there to Hadley, and he grabs it. He's able to make a couple guys miss, and he's off to the races. So Matt Hadley came up big clutch when they needed him, got BYU down the field, got the ball rolling. They're still a minute and a half plus. But then you get down towards the 10, 5-yard line, and there starts to be some questionable stuff.
Yeah, what do you think about this play calling down here on the final drive?
It's going to be a sweep, and I don't mind the play call because, once again, time's on your side. You're kind of maybe trying to bleed a little bit of clock. But what happens, you're going to see Matt Bushman up top just gets completely dominated, and the defensive end blows up the play. Otherwise, if Bushman holds his block, I think that might go for a touch. Instead, it gets blown up, and what they do, they come back the other way, the next play, and so you're left with the 4th down. Wilson converts, and now you're left with the last play of the game.
Yeah, and so at the last play of the game, you have a true freshman. I mean, it should be football 101, but as an offensive coordinator, what are you telling this freshman quarterback?
So 7 seconds, you can get 2 plays in 7 seconds. The first one is when he looks at his receiver calling motioning, he has to realize I've got man-to-man down low. That's not going to be open. Let me go up top to the quick slant. Now, he sees a quick slant. There's a window there. But Zach, actually, you see him look at the safety. Safety jumps it. So what do you have to do? You have to throw it out. Immediately, you have to throw it out of bounds. Live to fight another day. You're going to have about 2 seconds left. Instead, what happens? He goes and tries to create something with his feet.
Holds the ball too long.
And you go down. You cannot go down this instance. You have to give your team one more shot to try to roll you out or do whatever on the next play. I would like to see a rollout to give him a 2-way go with his legs to try to create something.
Throw a fade.
But you cannot go down this instance. He's a freshman quarterback, but this is football 101. You've got to understand this. If you're a college quarterback, you got to know, I cannot go down. We have no timeouts left. I got to get the ball out of the back of the end zone.
You got to help him, too. There's only 2 receivers going in the end zone for a pass. He's got 2 options there. That's not enough.
They were trying to do mass protection. I agree. It was a tough play call, but at the end of the day, at least give yourself one more shot on the next play.
Isn't it funny? Super Bowl, Patriots and Seahawks, everybody complained they didn't run the ball, and they threw it, an interception, game over, and now they're complaining that you ran the ball and didn't throw it those 2 plays.
Well, BYU doesn't have a Marshall.
Great point. Great point right there.
You understand what I'm talking about. And Jeff Grimes, right after that play, went face-to-face with Zach Wilson and tried to keep his spirits up.
It was a teaching moment. Zach's going to learn from that, but this is one of those things where he'll continue to grow and progress as a freshman quarterback. I think everyone, if you're a BYU fan, they threw for almost 300 yards, and so everyone's feeling optimistic. They just, You had a game with your fingertips up on the blue turf, which you've never won. This was an opportunity that just slipped right through your fingers.
Heartbreaking.
All right, guys.
Great clips of the week.
All right, this Nebraska kicker, something I've never seen before. He kicked the ball backwards.
What?
I don't think that was planned. I don't think that's the right way to do it. But it was pretty funny to watch.
Holy smokes. How about a brutal knockout in MMA?
Ooh, good night.
Yeah, good night, Alice.
Ooh, and how about Giannis? Speaking of good night, Costa Koufos. Boom, Costa.
I remember Costa. We'll be back. All right, every Saturday on Game Night Live at 6 o'clock, we give you 4 choices for the top high school football play of the week.
And we ask you to go to our Twitter page at KSL Sports to vote for your favorite. And now here is the winner.
Skyview's receiver, David Carver. Oh, he reaches out with a big old mitt and hauls it in.
One-handed. Odell Beckham Jr.
He had a couple big catches in that game.
But Park City pulled off the upset of the state playoffs by beating Skyview on the road. Skyview previously unbeaten. Hey, it's champion. Got semifinals this week.
Semifinals in the 4A, 5A, and 6A, and championship games 1, 2, and 3A.
That's what we'll be doing this week.
Of course, we'll have it for you all week long. We'll be there. Jazz play the Raptors tomorrow at home. Donovan Mitchell's not playing. And also, Real Salt Lake, 1-1 draw with Sporting Kansas City. Now they go to Kansas City for leg 2 of the semifinals.
You ready for some barbecue?
I'll be in Kansas City, yeah. I'll be there on Sunday.
You got a spot? You got it all scouted out?
No.
You got to get that done. We got to make that happen.
I will. Don't worry. Food Places and I on the road.
You will do your research.
We've never missed each other.
You got any suggestions? Send them in.
All right. That's it. See ya. Bye-bye.